Hello gamers, Matt Lemke here with Through Gamer Goggles, gamer-goggles.com. Today we're going to do another box breaking. This is a box breaking of the Dungeon Command box set, the new expansion for Wizards of the Coast's D&D line, Blood of Gruumsh, or Gruumsh. Never actually heard it said out loud. I really don't know how to pronounce a double U. Not double U, but two U's next to each other. Maybe it is Gruumsh, or whatever. Hey, little bit of trickery to the box, I guess. This is everything you need to play for two players to play out the scenario book in the with the rules that they give you for this set. Now, we're gonna take a little bit of time doing this. We're gonna flip through the rules real quick. There's your introduction, how to win, what you need to play, what a warband is, which is basically your group of minis. I'll zoom in a little here. We'll just move the book around some. Introduction to the battlefield tiles and the other items you're going to need, which are your counters. Zoom back out just a hair. How the board should be set out. They give you an accurate description of how the maps go together. All over. And then they give you some different descriptions of what the different types of terrain are. And then they give you a little step-in section of the book right here for your first game. It tells you what to use and exactly what you're going to need to play the game. Then you choose your commander. You can either be... Where did I put it? Aha! You can either be Lokar of the Stonelands, who is an orc scout, or you can be Drogar Eye of Gruumsh, who is another orc. And then they teach you how to read the cards. They go over the overview. And they go through a sequence of play and how to resolve things like the stack. They go over movement, enemy creatures in movement, special movement, playing order of cards, assisting creatures, standard, minor, and immediate actions, using your creature powers, range attacks, melee attacks, attacking, line of sight and cover, which if you've played Dungeons & Dragons, these are all very simple, or similar. They're not necessarily simple, but when you have the tiles down, it does make some things a little bit easier. Then you have damaging and destroying creatures, cowering, deploying creatures, and then they have advanced play. So they have a 3-player game, a 4-player game, how to make your own war bands with not only miniatures from this box set, but from other portions of the Dungeon Command line. And on the back, they have a reference sheet for your setup, sequence of play, and ending the game. They also have a little bit of Pimp Action going on for their other game lines. They have Legend of Drizzt, Lords of Waterdeep, Conquest of Narath, Dungeon Command Tyranny of Goblins, which was really a cool box set. Sting of Loth, which I didn't get that one yet, and the Dungeon board game, which is actually a lot of fun. I was a little surprised. It doesn't quite have the D&D flavor I thought it was going to have, but the game is really a lot of fun. I play it with my kids probably once a month. And then on the other side, you have you can roleplay your death scene. Interesting. Oh, this is the new D&D in-game play at your local store. So you get to do things like, let's see, Gilderoy, whatever the year is there, 331 DR, that's how long he lived. He's a 14th level paladin with a 2+ charisma. I'm sure fire-resistant chainmail is the same as fireproof chainmail. It's not a very good statement. Now we'll move into taking a look at the maps. Or I should say the map, which the map goes together really easy. It can only go together one way. You can do that. There's two of the four sections. I did something wrong. Haha, you can't do it wrong. Or I'm missing pieces, but I don't think I am. There we go. You have your map like that. And basically what you do is you come in, you've got your two deployment. Oh, zoom out of here. Let's see if I don't get other garbage on there. Basically you have your deployment zones, and you come in and you do your combat with each other. But what's cool about the maps is that any Dungeon Command map that's made, every single floor plan is interchangeable with others, so you can mix and match all the pieces to create your own custom games. Like you can see here, there's like a little hole in the floor where this is nicely tiled and stuff, but there's like a bubbling brook here where it like caved in. And then on the back, you have another set of tiles that are wilderness related, and they probably kind of have, yeah, like those seem to go like that, and that goes there in that corner, and that goes there in that corner. Pretty much like that. But as you can see, you can flip them around, and that'll work there equally as well. So they've spent a lot of time messing around with their tiles to make them work right, so that you can interchange them and create all kinds of unique things. And not only that, these are really good for Dungeons and Dragons. I found myself using them from time to time for small adventures where I didn't want to draw a map. Now, what I consider is the coolest part. Oh, no, we're not going to do that yet. We're going to move to the cards. Pull out my knife here real quick. And we're just going to flip through some. Boar. Wait, how about I zoom in for you? We're probably going to stay zoomed in like this the rest of the video. Boar. Ogre. Orc Archer, Barbarian, Chieftain, Cleric of Gruumsh, Orc Drudge, Druid, Wereboar, I forgot, monster cards and creature cards are different. They have different backs because they're in different piles. And again, you have Orc Archers, Barbarians, Chieftain, Cleric of Gruumsh, all kinds of goodies. You have Beastmaster, Bone Chilling, Rally Cry. Oh, that's something new again, too. That's a order card, which those are also worried about differently. Defiant Stance, Deflect, Furious Bellow, Fury of Gruumsh, requires an orc, attach this card to that creature. This creature's melee attacks deal plus 20 damage at the end of its activation. This creature also takes 20 damage. I would think that most orcs will die. Hacking Frenzy, plus 40 damage when you make the melee attack. Overseer's Whip. Add 2 to the speed of each creature you control. I'm not sure how it makes you run faster. Unless it makes like your wild animals run faster. Because they're afraid of you. Slice. Tactical Block. Tide of Iron. Unexpected Resistance. Victorious Surge. Oh, Vorpal Sword, one of my all-time favorite D&D weapons. Attach this card to this creature. If the target of this creature's melee attack takes at least 50 damage from that attack, destroy the target creature. Well, for those of you that are die-hard role players, Vorpal's Sword is a weapon that beheads the enemy on a natural 20. Now we get to look at the cool part, in my opinion. Well, before we move into the cool part, let's take a look at the tokens real quick. Treasure chests, hordes, damage tokens. Little marker tokens. I like to call them torchlights because they kind of look like they're glowing. And I believe these are wound counters. These are wound counters, like 1 through 8, and then you go to 10s. So, in my opinion, the best part of the game is the minis. And the minis have gotten so much better from Wizards of the Coast over the years. We're going to go ahead and take a quick look at some of these orcs. That's pretty much what they are. I'm going to zoom in as far as I can. Sorry about that. I'm going to turn more light on now because the glare's off. Bam. Bam. The Dungeon Command cards and boards are really reflective, so you have to take a little bit more care with the lighting. So we have a Orc Archer, and the detail is pretty good. It's certainly a tabletop quality if you're a traditional miniatures painter, or it's got the 3 colors on it that would make it tabletop quality. It's got some highlighting, some different shading to it. Not really shading, but because there's some certain amounts of darkness and depth in the muscle joints and on the armor. There's like black underneath the browns and stuff. It gives it some depth, which would put it over the top for table. Well, not over the top as in super tabletop quality, but this is definitely a tabletop quality mini. We have a Wereboar. Again, nothing super grand on the detail, but they took the time to actually paint the eyes and the teeth, which on a lot of miniature games where the figures are pre-painted, you don't see things like that. And I mean, they actually painted them. The only thing that would really start to put this over the top would be like adding a pupil to it, a black dot. Over here we have a Orc Barbarian. He's got his feathery, leathery hide loincloth, teeth around the neck. His teeth are painted. A little bit of depth and detail again. Decent quality for minis. They're kind of firm and rigid. We have a Orc Drudge. Again, decent amount of detail. We have an Orc Druid. Wait a minute. What's wrong with this picture? The Orc Druid's got a bigger weapon than the Barbarian. It looks like a big bone ram's head, which is pretty cool. He's kneeling down doing some kind of ritualistic prayer or casting a ritualistic spell, I think. He has more color on his back because he's got like more hair. He doesn't, it's probably like a bear cloak type of thing. Then we have a boar. Again, some detail. It looks like, I think they dipped these figures. It looks like they're dipped. That's what gives them the little contrast and the shininess. Then we have a Orc Cleric, and a lot of these figures repeat in the box, so I'm only showing you one ofs. He's got a small shield, spear, decent armor, and it's been, it's painted silver, and it looks like it's been washed over to give it that dull kind of not too super shiny clean look. We have a orc chieftain, which from the blade is pretty much everything you would expect. Good detail on this sword. Good detail on the muscles and face of this figure. They spent a good amount of time painting the medallion on his buckle, which that actually takes a little bit of skill if you're hand painting it, which these may be. Then we get into some of the bigger figures. We have an ogre, which in contrast is, well, let's get a standing figure, is pretty much to scale. He's about twice the size, and here, you know, he's a bigger figure. You can kind of start to see where the detail plays out here. You get some shadowing by either putting a wash on the figure to get some dark spots there. You get some dark spots in his chin, in his mouth. They painted the teeth. They did a good job with that. His eyes are painted. Right on top of his forehead, you see how they've got that darkness in the dimples of his forehead. You see it in some of the other places here as we move around on his back. You see it on his bandages over his foot or his foot covering there. You see it there. So they did a good job. His axe is a little bit bent, but that's an easy fix. You just take a hairdryer and warm it up a little bit, and then you straighten it out and you hold it until it resets. That's all you have to do. And then the last figure, I'm thinking, is an owl bear, which again is a good-sized figure. Kind of ugly-looking dirty beast, which fits the character of owl bears from what I remember. I remember the first time I ever saw an owl bear in D&D, I was like, oh, that's not how I pictured it. There you have it. You have a good look at the contents of the box set for Dungeon Command, the Blood of Gruumsh, or Gruumsh. Not entirely sure how you would pronounce that. It's in Orc. And since I don't know anybody who speaks Orc, I'm going to have a hard time getting anybody to tell me really what it is. This is not all of the figures. Again, most of these double. I didn't show you those to save some time. You get the cards, the board. I goofed. I should have put the board on the bottom. Thank you for watching. This has been a box breaking through Gamer Goggles, gamer-goggles.com. If you liked what you saw, please click on the social media links on the right-hand side and give us a follow. You can always check out more on Dungeon Command at Wizards of the Coast's website. We'll put some links up to the Blood of Gruumsh information, and have a good day.